Tianna Christine. I want to bring you a morning routine, something that you can do to kind of get yourself going, get yourself started for the day. We're going to be mostly on our mat. If you'd like to use some props, you're welcome to use some yoga blocks or yoga strap if you like. So this one is going to be more of arms and a little bit of core. So let's get started. All right, so we're going to begin on our sit bones. We're first just going to start by grounding ourselves. If you're watching this first thing in the morning, you want to make sure that you're completely settling yourself onto your mat, setting your intention for your day. If you are like me and have an intention word, awareness is my intention word for the day. And I like to start off with that. So we'll start by taking some breaths, allowing yourself to get nice and comfortable. We're going to take an inhale in through the nose. Exhale, open mouth. 2 more just like that. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, open mouth. 1 more. Inhale in. Exhale, release. Very nice. We're going to take that right ear down onto our right shoulder. Stretch that neck out for the day. Again, keeping that shoulder down. Don't let the shoulder come up. Taking that chin back to neutral and left ear to left shoulder. Inhale, take it back up and chin down to your chest. Finding length within the collarbone. Inhale, come back up. Bring the gaze all the way up to the ceiling. Rest your head on your back. And coming back to center. We're going to bring our arms up overhead, hinging forward, coming down onto your mat. Allow those forearms to release. Gently walking your hands to your right side, feeling that stretch along the side body. And walking the hands over to the right, to the left. One more full cycle of breath, and we come back to the center. See if you can walk those hands out just a little bit more, allowing that head to release down. Inhale, we're going to engage that core coming all the way back up, arms overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. We're going to take those feet out in front of us, flexing the toes back. We're sitting up even on our sit bones, flexing our toes down. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Keep the flex in the feet. Exhale, we're hinging forward, putting a slight bend in the knee. Allow those hands to come down. They can come down by your side, or if you want to put them behind your feet, you're welcome to. We're going to flex the feet, continue to stretch forward. We're hinging at the hips. Now, if it feels comfortable, you can begin to straighten the legs out while you're hinging forward. Feeling that stretch all along the hamstrings. If your hamstrings are tight, maintain the bend in your knee. On that inhale, bring the arms back up overhead. Exhale, lower the hands. We're going to transition to our tabletop position. Our wrists are going to be right underneath the shoulders. We're light on the wrists. Knees are hip distance apart, untucking our toes. Arch the spine, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone in for cat. Exhale, lower the belly. Bring the gaze up for cow. We're going to do that 4 more times. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Heavy on your fingertips, light in your wrists. Inhale up and exhale lower. One more time, inhale up and exhale lower. Returning to our neutral spine here. We're going to round ourselves out, creating little circles, maintaining just an even back. You don't have to do your cat-cows if you don't want to. Allow it to just come around. We're warming up that body, pausing at the top, going the opposite way. Little circles here with your hips. One more rotation and then we pause at the top, tucking those toes underneath. We're going to shift our weight back into our heels. Just a little toe stretch here. On that exhale, coming forward. We're not going to do a full downward dog. We're just going to lift the knees up, arch the spine, tuck the chin. Hold here. Exhale, lower down. We're going to do that 2 more times, just warming up our wrists, warming up our arms. Tuck it in, lift the knees. 1 full cycle of breath and lower down. And if these are too much, you're welcome to just stay with your knees on the ground. 1 more, hover the knees. And exhale, lower down. Very nice. I'm going to shift back onto the heels 1 more time, gentle toe stretch. Shift the weight forward and come up to your first downward facing dog. We're going to pedal our feet out here, moving our hips. We're going to bring those feet to stillness. Shift the weight back towards the heels. Feel free to readjust your feet if you need to. Your gaze is down towards your toes. You're shifting that weight, bringing the heels down towards your mat. On that exhale, bring the gaze towards the hands. Walk the feet towards your hands. Forward fold. On that inhale, come all the way up. Arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to do some sun salutations here. Allow that forehead to come towards your knee. Flat back. Plant the hands down onto the mat. We're going to step back to our tabletop position first. Stay here. Bring those feet out behind you. Lower yourself down, elbows in. Untucking your toes. Pushing up for your baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes. Shift to table and down to downward facing dog. On that inhale, bring the gaze towards the hands. Walk the feet back towards the hands. Forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Flat back here. Plant the hands, step back, and we're going to come to our full plank here. If you don't want to come to a full plank, feel free to bring your knees down. We're going to lower ourselves down, elbows in, lifting up for baby cobra here, and tuck the toes, transition to your downward facing dog. Bring the gaze towards your hands, walk your feet towards your hands, forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Flat back here. Plant the hands, step back into your plank or your tabletop position. Lower yourself down, elbows in, pushing up for your baby cobra. Shift the weight, downward facing dog. Bring the gaze towards your hands. Walk your feet towards your hands, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Flat back. Plant the hands, step back into your plank. Lower yourself down to the ground. Push up for your baby cobra. And tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Bring the gaze towards your hands, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms up overhead for your extended mountain. We're going to exhale into our forward fold, and we're going to hang out here. Bringing the hands, elbows together for our ragdoll pose. Feel that opening of the hip, the lower back, maybe a gentle sway from left to right. Allow your head to soften. Releasing the hands back to our forward fold. We're shifting that weight into the balls of our feet. So you're coming forward slightly. On that inhale, come all the way up. Arms up overhead. Extended mountain. Exhale, lower your hands. We're back into our mountain pose here. We're going to bring those feet about hip distance apart. Bringing our gaze right directly in front of us. We want to focus on something that isn't moving. We just want to be able to set that foundation for when we go into more difficult postures. So you're setting that foundation, you're looking at something directly in front of you. Inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, you're hinging forward at the hips. Lower yourself all the way down. Relax that head. Flat back here. We're going to plant the hands, step back into our plank. If it's possible, hold here and lower yourself down, elbows in. You're going to stay down onto the ground. You're going to bend those feet up towards the sky. You're going to reach back with your right hand, grabbing the top of that foot. See if you can bring that heel all the way down towards the glute. If it's comfortable and you want to reach that other hand back to the other foot, you're going to bend both feet back. You're going to feel this stretch along the quad. That's perfectly okay. If it's available, lifting that knee off of the ground. Release both feet together. Lower the foot. Bring those hands right up underneath your shoulders, tucking your toes, pushing back to your tabletop position. And shifting the weight to your downward facing dog. On that inhale, you're going to bring that right leg up towards the sky. Bend the knee, arch the spine, knee to chest. Bring it through to frame the hand. Pivoting that back foot, you're coming up for a warrior one. Bend into that front knee. If you want to maintain your alignment, you can look down. If you just see your big toe, you know that knee is tracking right over the ankle. That back foot, that pinky toe edge of the foot is on the mat. Shifting the weight evenly on both feet. Hold here. Exhale, open up warrior two. That gaze is right over that ring finger. Maintain the bend in the knee. Maintaining the hips square to the front of your mat. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, lower the hands down, windmill them down, frame the foot. Step back into your plank. We're pushing back for our downward facing dog. Bringing the left leg up. We're going to bend it to the chest, arch the spine, bring it through to frame the hands. If your foot doesn't get there, you're more than welcome to bring the foot down or come down onto your knee. Pivot that back foot, Coming up for warrior one on our other side. Again, we're looking down, we're checking our alignment, we're making sure our hips are square to the front of the mat. On that exhale, we'll open up to a warrior two on this side. Inhale, reversing your warrior. Maintain the bend in the knee. Exhale, windmill the hands down. We're going to frame the foot, step back into your plank, push back to your downward facing dog. We're going to bring that gaze towards the hands, walk the feet towards our hands. We're in our forward fold. This time we're going to put a bend into the knee, bringing the hands to the outsides of our feet, bend the knees and sit in your chair. So you want to make sure you're keeping that back nice and out. You don't want to bend the knee, bend the spine in. You want to make sure you're tucking that belly button in towards the spine, bringing that tailbone in. Exhale, forward fold. Taking a flat back here. We're going to plant the hands, step back into our plank pose or our tabletop, lower ourselves down, elbows in, push up for your upward facing dog or stay in your cobra. Shift the weight back, downward facing dog. Bring that right leg up towards the sky. Arch it up, chin to chest, bring it through, frame the hand, pivot that back foot. Coming up for warrior one. Exhale, open up warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the foot, step back to your plank, lower down, push up for your baby cobra. Shift the weight, downward facing dog. Going to do the other leg. Bring that leg up towards the sky, bend it through, frame the hand, pivot that back foot. Coming up for your warrior one, maintain the bend in the knee. Exhale, open up warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the foot, step back and flow. And if flow is lowering yourself down, you can push up for your upward facing dog. Shift the weight back to your downward facing dog. Bringing that gaze towards the hands, walk your feet towards your hands. We're back in our forward fold. Putting a bend back into the knee, bringing the hands along our sides. We're going to sit back in our chair. Tucking that tailbone in. Bringing that belly button in towards the spine. We're heading our weight back into our heels. On that exhale, bring yourself to stand. Very nice. So with that one is our sun salutation B. We're going to do that another 2 more times to get ourselves warmed up. All right. So again, you're coming to the top of your mat, putting a bend in the knee, bringing your fingertips along the side and sit in your chair. Again, tuck that tailbone in, belly button towards the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Flat back here. Plant the hands, step back, and flow through. We'll meet in downward facing dog if you don't wish to flow. Bringing that right leg up towards the sky. Gonna bend it, bring it through to frame the hand. Pivot that foot, back foot, coming up for a warrior one. Exhale, open up warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the foot, step back and flow. Bringing that left foot up towards the sky, bend it and bring it through, frame the hand. Again, you're pivoting that foot back, coming up for warrior one. Open up warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the foot, step back and flow. Gonna bring that gaze towards the hands, walk the feet towards the hands, forward fold. On that inhale, we come all the way up, arms up overhead, lower them down. We're gonna put a bend into the knee, sweep the fingertips, sit back in your chair. Exhale, forward fold, flat back. Planting the hands down, step back into your forward facing dog. We're going to lower ourselves down. Inhale, coming up for an upward facing dog here. Shift the weight back. We're going to bring that left leg up towards the sky. Bend it and bring it through. Shifting the weight up for warrior one. Again, maintaining that bend in the front knee. Exhale, open out warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill your hands down, frame the foot, step back and flow. Again, if you don't wish to flow, you can just meet us in downward facing dog. Shifting that weight back into the heels on your down dog. Bring the gaze towards the hands. Walk the feet towards the hands. Forward fold. Bring the hands to the outsides of the feet. Put a bend in the knee. Sit back in your chair. On that exhale, bring yourself to stand. We're going to stand here at the top of our mat. If you need to take a sip of water, feel free. Always come back to the mat whenever you're ready. Keeping those feet about hip distance apart. Again, we said we were going to set that drishti point, something that's right in front of us. On that inhale, we're going to set that drishti point, and then on that inhale, shift the weight into our left foot. So you shift that weight into that left foot, you're grounding down all four corners of your feet. Having that drishti point set, you're going to inhale that right knee up into the chest. Once it gets up there, you can hold on to it, interlace your fingers onto your shin. You can flex your toes. Allow those shoulders to relax. If you need to hold on to a wall while you do this, feel free. On that exhale, we're lowering that foot back down. Shift the weight into the right foot. Set that drishti point. Inhale, bring the left knee up. Again, if you need to hold on to a wall, you're more than welcome to do so. On that exhale, lower down. Very nice. We're shifting that weight. We're going to come back into that right foot. Shift the weight into the left. This time you're going to bend the knee back. Holding on to the top of that back foot, allow that knee to come back in line with your standing leg. Okay? Again, setting that drishti point. When you look down, you fall down. Begin to bring that heel up towards the glute. So you want to leverage your toes. Grip into the mat during this time. Allow your shoulders to come back. Feel free to grab a strap during this time if you also want to hold on with the strap. You can inhale, bringing that opposite arm up overhead, feeling that stretch in your hip flexor. On that exhale, lower your foot down, lower your arm. Shift the weight into the right foot. Again, we're going to bend the left foot back. Hold on to the top of that foot. Again, lower that knee where it comes back in line with the standing leg. Bring that heel in towards your glute. You can inhale, bring up the opposite arm. Hold here for one more breath. And on your exhale, lower everything down back to your mountain pose. Shake it out here. We're going to turn those feet out wide. We're going to shift them to the outside of our mat. We're going to put a bend into our knees. Begin to squat down into the center. You don't have to go too far. This is a gentle morning stretch. Exhale, bring it back up. Let's add our arms. Inhale, bring the arms up, bend the knees. Exhale, bring them out for cactus arms, goddess fingers here. Inhale, bring the arms to straighten. Exhale, we're going to keep the squat. Bring the hands to goddess. Keep them here. Maintain your squat. You're tucking that tailbone in. Exhale, straighten the legs. Bring the arms down. Very nice. We're going to pivot towards one side of our mat. So we're going to pivot that right foot like we're doing our warrior one. We're going to point the toe out to the side, that front foot. We're going to bring our gaze towards that toe. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up overhead, and exhale, hinge forward towards the inside of that knee. Allow the head to release here. This is our pyramid pose. Allow your head to soften. Feel that stretch along the hip. Going to take 2 more breaths. Really get the full benefit of the stretch. On that inhale, coming back, bring the arms back up overhead. Shift to center, bring that front toe in, and point the other toe out. We're now pointing towards the opposite side. Again, inhale the arms, bringing the gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold to the inside of that leg. You can have a slight bend in the knee if you need it. One more full breath. And on that inhale, bringing the arms up overhead. Bringing that toe back in towards the front. We're shifting to center. On that exhale, we're hinging forward towards the inside of our bodies, right down the middle. Allow that head to release. Again, shift the weight into the balls of the feet. Feel the back of those legs begin to activate. Allow the head to soften. Gently walk the hands over to your right side. May feel those legs start to activate here. Coming back to center and over to your left. Coming back to center, we're going to pause in the middle. Again, lowering that head. Rooting down within our feet. We're going to inhale, bring the arms back up overhead, coming up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Slight back bend here. Exhale, release the hands. We're going to come back to our mountain pose, feet hip distance apart. Coming up onto our toes, just giving ourselves a nice little stretch here. Exhale, lower down. Shift the weight into the heels, bring the toes up. And exhale, lower the toes. Very nice. We're going to inhale one more time, arms up overhead. Exhale, we're hinging forward, putting a bend into the knee. We're going to do a little squat down. Shifting the hands behind us, come to a seated position. Shift the weight into the front of your mat. We're going to release the feet. Heels are going to be down onto the mat. Sit up nice and straight. Exhale, tucking that tailbone in. Lower yourself all the way down. Keep those heels rooted. Keep the heels rooted, core engaged. Lower yourself all the way down. Inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, hug your knees into your chest, one knee at a time. Rock from left to right. We're going to release those feet into the ceiling, flexing the toes down towards our body, allowing that spine to be completely flat on the mat. Exhale, we're going to lower down our right foot. Let it hover here. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, lower our left leg, let it hover. Inhale, bring it back up. Putting a bend into our knees, in our chest. Bringing those hands out to T's. Keeping those knees into the chest. We're going to bring those knees over to our right side. Your hands can come over onto your thigh, as long as it's not on the knee. Bring your gaze opposite of your knees. I want you to take another 2 breaths. Just allow your hips to release. Allow your thoughts to just gently drift away. Releasing that hand, keeping that core engaged. Bring the knees back up to center and over to the opposite side. Again, that hand can come over the thigh. Bring the gaze opposite of your knees. This stretch feels really good in the morning. Really, really good. I love it. It's one of my favorite stretches. Releasing that hand, bring the knee back into the chest. Give it a little rock from left to right. We're going to bring those knees butterflied out, allowing the soles of the feet to touch, grabbing the outsides of both feet. We can open up for our happy baby. Again, you're bringing those knees right underneath the shoulders, right under the armpits. You can rock from left to right here. One of my favorite things to do within Happy Baby, you can bring one heel in towards the center of the body and begin to straighten out the opposite leg. When you're doing this nice and slow with the breath. You're doing what's available to you. If that leg doesn't want to straighten out today, it's completely okay. You let the breath carry the leg down. Nice and gently, that leg will begin to straighten. If you're not there and you have very tight hamstrings, that's perfectly okay. You do it where you are. On that next exhale, you're going to bring that foot back into center, having both feet soles together. And then begin to straighten out the opposite leg. Same on this side. Again, nice and slow. You let the breath straighten the leg. You let gravity begin to take over. On that exhale, I'm going to bring that foot back to the soles. Allow the soles to touch. Close the thighs up like a book, bringing those knees back into your chest. We're going to lower our legs down onto the earth. Let them surrender. You can take one last stretch overhead, flexing and pointing the toes. And when you're ready, you're going to bring those arms down by our sides. Palms can face up, shoulders released. We're coming into our Savasana, our final resting pose. Here's where we allow ourselves to just simply release. Releasing tension all throughout our body. Taking an overall scan from head to toe. Notice where you may be holding on to tension. And on those exhales, just see if you can release that tension from your body. We're noticing the rise and the fall of our chest. We can come back to that intention that we set for class. Allowing that to anchor us here. Anchor us in our thoughts. Allow ourselves to simply turn down the volume, being present on the moment on our mats. Knowing that our day is going to be still here for us when we leave our mat. But allowing our practice to prepare us for our day. Knowing that we leave with the breath. You're welcome to stay here as long as it serves you. If you'd like to end this session, you can bring the knees into the chest, rolling over to your right side, cradling your head if you need to, and then beginning to push yourself back into that seated position that we started in. Bringing the hands to heart center. I want to thank you for allowing me to practice with you today. I really hope you enjoyed the practice. I wish you all the best in your day. Again, remembering to lead with your breath. Namaste.